Um, I want you to tell me what you think could be the positives from this loan scheme. My fear also has been captured by, the report where the governor, told the management of the Rivers State Microfinance Agency, REMA, to ensure that it's able to recover loans. Let's talk about loan recovery. So every now and then, we would have these conversations as it relates to loan recovery. For instance, traders' money, that's at the federal level. What's the other one again? Is it Anchor Borrowers Scheme? Yeah. The government is still recovering monies up until today, by the way, because it's difficult to recover these monies in Nigeria, where we've got a database issue. There is the private sector as well, where you go to loan apps and you take loans, and a lot of the loan apps are complaining about Nigerians and their inability to pay back loans when they collect loans. So some of these loan apps have decided to tour the illegal path. And, that has made the news on several occasions, and we've had discussions on that as well. So there's the issue of loan recovery. But apart from that, I don't really think there are any other issues, or maybe pressure. Some people argued yesterday that it could have been a grant. Akwa Ibom State yesterday, did kick off their own scheme, but their own scheme was in the form of a grant. So could it have been a grant where, the government would have looked at it from the angle of after 4 years, we would take XYZ amount maybe of taxes, or, we will tax you like this, like that. I don't know. Or we could have a 5% of your business or 10% of your business, in such a way to ensure that, the money does have its value, and not that people just take the loans and, treat personal issues and businesses do not try, because the scheme in itself is trying its best to push businesses to thrive in Rivers State, to move from small to medium scale, from medium scale to large scale businesses, conglomerates and all of that stuff. But is that really what is going to play out? I'd like to get your thoughts, because the CBN tried it under Emefiele. Look at where Emefiele is right now. I mean, I'm not saying that's the reason why it's there, but the CBN tried it under Emefiele and it did not work. And it was, some kind of, I'm not saying it would not work, but I'm saying, what are your thoughts? And that's what I'm trying to say. What do you think about this? I like to know. I like to hear from you. Basically, all I'm saying, all that I've said is to arrive at that question. What is on your mind as it relates to the loan scheme? 3,000 Rivers people, 100 companies, a good one, do you think? A boost economy in Rivers State, do you think? I'd like to hear from you. But by the way, there's also the mentality of the entrepreneurs. Do they have the mentality of, so if we do the mathematics, so this should be what, maybe somewhere around the region of 1 million, 2 million per person. Am I right? Am I getting it right? 3,000. If you do one, okay, maybe not up to 1 million, maybe up to 1 million. Okay, 3,000. I don't know what the mathematics is, so maybe you could help me with that. But it looks like it's not going to be up to 1 million naira giving to these people. I stand to be corrected, because if we have 3,000 people, a million would be what, somewhere around the region of 30 billion, right? So help me do the mathematics and tell me what you think about this. But let's quickly move on. Talking is my strong point, not calculating. States will pay only sustainable minimum wage, and this is coming from state governors. So as the conversation continue, or as the conversations linger as it relates to the minimum wage, Labour insisting 615,000 is what Labour is demanding for, and they are not shifting grounds just yet. And while all of that is happening, the state governors have come out and say, hey, we will only be able to pay what is sustainable. We will only be able to pay, what we've got the strength for, or the capacity for. So the Nigeria Governors Forum says it is yet to conclude work on what the states can sustainably pay. Now, this comes as conversations for a new minimum wage for workers in Nigeria rages on. A statement issued by the chairman of the forum, Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, said as members of the 37-member tripartite committee for the national minimum wage, which is yet to conclude its work, the governors are reviewing their fiscal space to see the consequential impact of the various recommendations. Now, the governors, however, said they remain committed to the process and promised that better wages will be the outcome of ongoing negotiations. So, just like the River State governor sounded on May Day, that's May the 1st, they are also saying, we're committed to paying whatever is the outcome of the agreement, but however, it has to be a sustainable outcome, something that we can deal with, something we can, you know what I'm talking about, because some states are yet to pay the current minimum wage, which expired, I think, on the 18th of April. Yes, something like that. So I'd like to get your thoughts on that one as well, because Labour is insisting and saying, I think yesterday on Channels TV, NLC president, is it NLC president? Yeah, Joe Ajero said that the state governors have the capacity to pay. The state governors have, the monies to pay. They're talking about increase in revenue as a result of the removal of subsidy, and all of that money can go into the payment of salaries. But do you really agree with Labour on that one? I also understand that you had that conversation with Andrew on the Morning Crossfire. So I would like to hear from you what your conversations were like with Andrew, Ifemi Andrew, and let's talk for development. But to my final big story, we will have to, do something unconventional on the show. We usually do not talk about sports, but we will delve into sports for a bit on the show this afternoon. And it is a letter circulating on social media, and a lot of the sports analysts and sports presenters and sports entrepreneurs have been talking about this because there is the letter believed to be from the management of Rivers United talking about the Rivers State government, which is the sponsor of the football club, reviewing Rivers United's participation in all footballing events. Now, I'm not really into, sports like that. My knowledge is limited. But what I've realized or what I've found out is fixtures may have become a concern for Rivers United, playing in the space of a day, Friday, then traveling on Saturday and playing on Sunday, something in that nature. And so I think they're a little bit aggrieved and they're protesting, and letters have been reading and counter letters have been reading, and one of such letters that I see right before me right now, Rivers United Football Club is the cover page heading, or the cover page, I'm sorry about that, and then there is the headline or the title, Review of Rivers United further participation in all football related activities. Now, I don't know, when you are reviewing further participation in all football related activities, some people would see it as you withdrawing or attempting to withdraw or threatening. I think we should use the word threatening to withdraw from participating in all the competitions that you are supposed to be involved in. So I'm going to read the letter. I have been directed by the management of Rivers United Football Club Port Harcourt to notify you that the sponsors of the team, the Rivers State government, is currently reviewing the club's participation in all football related activities due to unfair actions always taken against the team despite its huge investment and contribution to the development of the game in Nigeria. Rivers United FC is by this letter withdrawing the earlier sent letter dated 1st May 2024 on the March timing for the 2024 Federation Cup with the subject rescheduled Federation Cup match round 64 without prejudice. Thanks for your attention. And this is signed by the Secretary Ahmed Abdurrahman. And I think they also copied the Chief Operating Officer, Nigeria Premier Football League. Okay, all right, okay. So you've seen that, you understand that letter, I guess. And so some people are seeing that as a withdrawal, a possible withdrawal from all footballing competitions in Nigeria. What do you make of that? Because, if the Rivers State government is the sponsor, and I remember the other time, the Commissioner for Sports, I think Green, was in our studios, one of our programmings, and, we talked about sports development in Rivers State and how it is a possible tool to take the youths out of the streets and reduce crime rates. Do you think this move is a good one by the Rivers State government? For whatever reasons. I mean, it's supposed to be a sports and activity. And what do you people say again when you watch your sports? There's something sportsmanship, right? So you have to be a sportsman. Do you think, irrespective of how challenging it is, irrespective of how difficult the fixtures are, just maybe, we should let it. I mean, it happens in other places, other climes. But withdrawing is I don't know what you make of it, really, because I'm trying to understand it. Once again, I'm not very articulate when it comes to football activities, especially local football. So this is where you come in. This is where you advise. This is where your thoughts matter, and I really would like to hear from you. Besides, if football or sports in general is supposed to be a tool with which we remove our young people from the streets, and there's what we now call the Mbappe project. If that is something we're trying to do in River State, should we not be keeping our teams in tournaments so that we don't get fined or so that we don't get banned, all of those things? I really would love to hear from you what your thoughts are concerning that one. I don't know if that also contributed to Rivers United losing out to Bayelsa. Is it United as well? Bayelsa United 2-1 in the course of the week, and so maybe all of these things are beginning to have a mental or psychological effect on the team. But I really would like to. What do you think the Rivers State government should do as it relates to this matter? What do you think the Ministry of Sports should really do at this time? Rivers people should have a say as it relates to Rivers United, because now we know the taxpayers' money used to sponsor that team. All right, so enough of footballing activities. Let's go to the phone lines. 29 minutes gone past the hour of 3. By the way, on the side note, I can see on my screen that we're still having Thanksgivings in Rivers State. Yes, we are. And I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know. 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. There is 0817 923 0007. I take the numbers again: 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. And 0817-923-0007. There is WhatsApp for WhatsApp messages. 0809-0306416 is the number. I would also take voice notes via WhatsApp, so please do well to send in your voice notes via WhatsApp. I've got Steve, and Steve is calling me from Port Harcourt. So let's take a listen to what is on Steve's mind this afternoon. Steve, welcome. Let's get your thoughts, please.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Can I talk a little bit about the loan?
Oh, of course, it's part of my big story, so you can talk about it. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Mike, can you hear me? Oh, is the network really terrible? Can you hear me now?
Madam, no, I'm supposed to give you. How much you give me?
All right, Steve, do call back, please. Ida from Inkoro, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The Thanksgiving will end on the 12th of this month. That is to end in Okobon.
Okay.
Going to the loan, I want to comment the government. And please, all those are handling those things, please give the normal people that will be able to do business. Thank you very much. God bless my lovely brother.
All right, thank you very much. It has raised, a good angle to the conversation, which I did not, take into consideration. What really is the criteria? How do we know who really is what's the word now? Who qualifies? How do you know who should? I mean, we've got a lot of entrepreneurs in River State. I want to believe we've got a lot of companies. So if we have are we going to do it based on quota? Because I saw where one person each from in the report. So are we going to be doing that based on a quota system? And if you're doing it based on quota system, how do we select whose business is ripe for the loan scheme? Moses is calling from Rumigbo. Moses, welcome. What is on your mind?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can I talk about
Sorry, can you talk about what, please?
labor.
Of course, it's part of my big stories. Governors are saying they will pay what is sustainable.
Please, I have problem with labor because there are no the map in the street in this country.
Okay.
All they are fighting for their salary, and their salary is what is the high price of goods.
But it will also have, it will also impact you, because where you're working, you would also get, to have a salary increment, because if it's low, then it means both private and public institutions must pay 615,000 as minimum wage.
I agree with you, yes. But look at now in this now. When they are paying me 600,000 naira a month, then I will go and buy one bag of rice, almost 200,000. So you see, it is the same. But if I pay you 60,000 naira a month, and then I go and buy one bag of rice, 2,500 naira, I will still enjoy that money. So I cannot see the essence of demanding to increase their salary. Please tell them, let them protest so that the people like us can enjoy.
All right then.
Yeah, thank you.
All right then. Thank you very much for your time. Let's keep the conversation. I've got Clinton from Bori. Clinton, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Something is terrible with the phone lines today. Is it me, or can everybody... Go ahead, Clinton. I can hear you.
I'm talking about Rivers Island. I'm not withdrawing the right thing. The reason why
Clinton, I can barely hear you. It's given a clean. So please do call back if you can. Terrible network. Just good afternoon, Kalada. We will pay sustainable wages. Governors, is Imo State government among those who made this promise? Help me ask the governor this question. If the first child did not walk, will the second child run? He has not paid common 30,000. Talk of paying sustainable wage. Maybe 30,000 would be the sustainable wage at the time. I do not know. We don't know the figures yet. But yeah, they are talking sustainable now, right? They are looking at sustainable. Keep those calls coming in. This one says, good afternoon, Cal. With respect to the loan scheme, 1 million times 3,000 is actually 3 billion. Okay, thank you very much for that mathematics. Notwithstanding, I think the state government shouldn't have been into this loan scheme the way it did. Rather, it should have partnered with the commercial banks, and beneficiaries would have been given subject to the provision of a sustainable collateral. In other words, it should have been in form of a mortgage. Government and business owners ab initio have never had a good history of perfecting and fulfilling loan programs done in this manner. For example, take the Anchor Borrowers Program. I'm afraid that the program may not achieve its aim. However, let it not be inferred that I am a pessimist. Let's watch and see. Now, thank you very much for the calculations, first of all. So my spirit was right when it calculated about 3 billion. Okay. All right. So if it's 3 billion, and then it's most likely £1 million naira each to the individuals, right? And secondly, the Anchor Borrowers Program was done through commercial banks, right? Have we been able to recover the loans? I'm not sure. Thirdly, the state government is doing the loan scheme through the Bank of Industry. So, yeah, I think there is a bank, and I guess there will be collateral collected. But all of these things, have they been proven to be efficient when it comes to Nigeria and loans and repayment of loans? So the phone lines are really terrible, I've just been told. But let's keep trying. I'm going to try taking the calls myself, and let's see if It is from the call screener,
Yeah,
92.3.
Canada. Good afternoon, Steve English, my name.
All right, Steve,
So
welcome.
let me talk about the loan. It's important and it's very good to help ourselves and the help people who are doing businesses. But the last administration, I think that was the first thing. The level of doctors, the level of education, their personality, I think government gave them loans. Most of them are giving loans. But I think along the line, most of them did not even refund, and that project was cut short. See, so this one now, they are looking at the level of people and the level of those yesterday. How do we quantify this one? But I'm praying that they should put in a good mechanism to recover this loan so that those who have not gotten that will have opportunity to get after their own.
All right. Then.
Please.
All
And
right.
secondly, about the Sharks and the Rivers United and the club. You see, I think they have been complaining about their matches. That matches they've been carrying to Uyo. These are CAF Confederation Cup they played. I think they complain. Communication between NFA and the management, there was that is but they managed to play the competition. So if there's anything they can do to streamline this program, because them to say they withdraw, no, I don't support withdrawal, no, they don't do that. They say want to review their activities, how they play, but they should find a level ground. This stadium is here, the Lekoya Stadium there. I think they now started using Yakubu for May Day. I think that COVID-19 has been clear for that. They should go and spin that stadium because Yakubu can take a good, at least, if not international matches, these are local league. Yakubu and people will come in. But sometimes the distance is too much.
Right.
Now that transport is very scarce.
All right.
So they should look into those ones and come back. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You said I should not withdraw, but I've got Day from Iwafe. Day, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I want to talk about the labor demand and the governor's stand on the minimum wage.
I'm listening to you.
For me, the state governors, if Nigerian government, from the presidency to local government, are sincere to the citizens, the 615,000 is very workable, considering the high cost of governance in the life of our politicians and their excessive luxury living. If they can look into that area and cut all those excessiveness, I think 615 is just a little thing considering what they're spending both in and out of this country. So I pray that the state governors will reason and consider the workers, that is the civil servants of all levels, and do the needful. And the needful is to cut all those excessiveness in governance, which is not necessary. And it will be okay that at this hard time, that the country all over the world will look at Nigeria and consider the leaders as being reasonable to the citizens.
All right.
I think this will be very, very much okay for us.
All right. Then
It's workable.
All right.
15 is workable.
All right,
Thank
you very much, Day from Iwafe. Keep those calls coming in. This one says pro poor approach in loan disbursement. Okay, somebody's sending me the link. All right, I'll look at it. Let's see. This one says my concern on the disbursement of the loan is if the governor just commissioned the loan agency, when do those beneficiaries applied? When do those beneficiaries apply, and when did they apply, and when through the rigorous process of registration and verification? Oh, by the way, that has been going on for a while, and that was announced even on our station. I don't know. I think was it Morning Crossfire. We had a conversation with Jonathan Tobin. You said I want to apply for the loan, but I'm just sharing from your station that they already have beneficiaries, meaning that they have already disbursed everything. Again, why do they not create an online portal where people can go and apply? Or was everyone expected to come to the office in queue? Please, I need answers. Choose a live from Rumo Christi Pipeline. So maybe you missed the show. Maybe you missed the news because even the Commissioner for Information talked about it once upon my show. I've got Obed from GRA. Obed, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Obed.
Yes, I think issue of labor. Labor has the right to this demand. The hoops on the government of the
All right, Obed, I'm sorry. Obed, you would have to call me back. Terrible network, not your fault, not my fault, but terrible network. So maybe we should just read more messages. Let's see. My goodness. This says, good afternoon, Khaled. I have a complaint that has to be investigated. All right. Okay. So I would pass this message across to my colleagues, and they would help us with the investigations. All right. Let's see it. This one. Not for me. Good afternoon, Khaleda. Talking about what transpired on May Day with Labour, nothing was heard about defraying monies owed retirees. Governor gave 100,000 naira to workers as Xmas bonus. Nothing was given to retirees. Is the governor a retiree-friendly governor? Please, what is the fate of retirees containing payment and increments? Retirees are really suffering under this government concerning payment of gratuities in Maui from Port Harcourt. Okay, we would pass on this message to the government house. Hopefully, there will be an answer to that effect. This one says, good afternoon, Kaladakuru. My name is Jesse Akayogo from Guara community. Governor Sim presents 3.6 billion naira for 3,066 MSMEs loan scheme. I think it's a welcome development. All right. Let's see Daniel from Imogate. Daniel, welcome. What is on your mind?
Good afternoon, my brother Kalada.
All right, good afternoon to you.
Of the people. Yes, Jinke Daniel Imogate.
All right, Jinke Daniel, welcome.
Let me take a look at what labor is demanding.
Okay.
615,000. If I understand that language, minimum is the least paid in any organization. Now, if it is realistic, as some people are saying, have they considered those that are in the private sector? Even a doctor in a private hospital, how much do you think will be his salary? They should do something that is realistic. And as you consider person at that level, a pump attendant in a fuel station, it simply means they want to put the private, they want to close up because nobody will like, okay, take teachers for instance, teachers in the private school and teachers in the government school. It simply means those in the private school have to close. Let them consider, factor the things together, and then come up with something that is realistic.
All right.
Chinke Daniel.
All right, Chinke Daniels, thank you very much. So for Cheesy Light, you asked a question. I mean, if you had checked online, you would have seen the application form, and you would have seen it at the RIMA website, rima.ng. And it's very simple. And I'm looking at it. You know, they would ask you your name. They would ask you your address, you know, the state where your business is located, the local government where your business is located, email address, telephone number, business name, business address, number of years at this business address, then NIN, that's your national identification number, bank verification number, BVN, and how much do you want to borrow is a question they would ask you. How long do you want to pay back the loan? And that's another question. And the maximum, by the way, is 1 million naira. So I was right with my calculation. So it's 1 million naira that you can borrow. I said, how frequent do you want to repay? What do you need the loan for? You know, these are some of the things that. What type of business do you do? What are your products and services? How long have you been doing this business? But you see, my own question is, you know, when all of these things are done, what is the criteria that they would look at? Is it the nature of your business? Is it how long you've done your business? Is it your capacity to pay back 1 million? I mean, these are some of the things you know I'm asking as it relates, and I'm hoping that they'll make it public eventually, or maybe they have. I've not seen it. I do not know. But this one says, man of the people, help me and tell Governor Sim Fubara the civil servants are not the only people in various states. He should look at the youths that were abandoned by the former governor for 8 good solid years. and then lift the embargo for youth employment. We are the treasure base of the nation. From Tango Ability Trick. But I mean, are the youth really suffering? I mean, the youths are the ones who are dancing at rallies now. Dancing at rallies, they're all over the place, or all over the places. It's either they're on the left side or they're on the right side. So I don't know if the youths are complaining like you're making it sound. Let's listen to this one. All right. For some reason, the network is really terrible.
About the loan.
Okay. All right, so the sound bite you sent, the recording is terrible, so I have to stop it. You would have to, do something about it.
My brother Kalala, good afternoon to you. Yeah, my name is Comrade Clinton from Bori. Rivers United threatening to withdraw from competition, I think is not necessary. What they are facing now is not new to sport. It's not new to sport. It has been happening. It is called fixture congestion. And they have been making a lot of progress in the competitions they've featured in this season. And that's why their local fixtures have been affected. I checked on the log and they have about 6 outstanding games. It's normal. So they should be able to meet up. But what I think they should do is to look for a way and get squad depth. They should have enough players so they can go into squad rotation. So not withdrawing. Withdrawing is not the right thing. It's like they're not ready to feature in competitions. Then on the loans, I want to plead with the state governor. In as much as I commend the move of giving loans to businesses, to people, I think they should also be very, very careful in selecting those that will benefit from this loan. Let the loans be given to those that actually deserve the loan. If you go to some of these our local markets, some traders don't even have what they have on their table does not even amount to 10,000. These are the people that need the loans more. Give them these loans, and these loans will actually boost the economy, because small scale and medium scale businesses can actually make use of this loan, leverage on the loans that the state government is giving them, and add value to themselves. So I think it will also lower the pressure on the state government in terms of employment, because some persons have the business ideas but they don't have startups. So if the government can actually give them this loan as startup, it will help boost the economy of the state. Then finally, state government say they will pay what is sustainable. Canada, our state governors, some of them don't have any idea. They are bereft of ideas to bring something to the table, despite the resources they have in their state. So I think that the state governors should also think outside of the box and look at what they have in their state as resources. Because how about human resources and mineral resources on some states, but yet they bring very little to the table. So I think that the state government should do a lot in actually offering something apart from what is coming from the federal government. They should not depend on the federal government always, when they have things in their state that they can actually leverage on and better the lives of their lot. Thank you very much.
Now, I almost forgot that was recorded. I was going to argue with you, Clinton. But Clinton, number one, when you say market people who do not have up to items worth 10,000 naira on the table, how do they pay back the loans? Have you thought about that? Will they have the capacity to pay back the loans? And really, how do we even select these people who are qualified? Or how do we know who is qualified? Because I don't even think I'm qualified. If you give such a loan to me, I might just use it to buga, right? You heard me right. So how do we even ensure that that's not going to be the case? Because even if they can pay back, the intent is to ensure that the economy of River State thrives. And the best way for the economy of River State to thrive is if we have a robust buying and selling in the state. Yeah? Okay, so let's look at some more recorded. Ibiso, if you can hear me, your soundbite is terrible, so please do well to.
Good afternoon, Kalada. Obed Chima. I think Labour has the right to place their demand, so it behooves of the government to come up with whatever they can, and both of them will agree. I think the demand of Labour is not bad, considering the current economic reality. Then on issue of the governor on the loan, I think it's a welcome development. This is the first kind of it all after 8 years of River State not seeing anything from the past administration. I think this current administration have taken the bold step to be able to address issue of unemployment and poverty. Congratulations to him. Let him continue on this trajectory. Obed Chima.
All right, Obed Chima, thank you very much. Mr. Emmanuel says this is why. I don't get this message. Okay, I think it's something you saw on Twitter or X, formerly Twitter. So I'm not sure I can use that. But you said this is why government can't get anything right. I'm talking about Labour's request. Emmanuel from Iwofe. Emmanuel, what is on that tweet cannot be verified as of now. So I'm sorry, I might not be able to use it. So I'm going to skip and move to the phone lines, and let's see if we do have quality network service now. But first, Hector has sent in a voice note, so let's take a listen to Hector's voice note.
Good afternoon, KD. My name is Hector. Concerning the loan, I also applied, but along the way, I was discouraged because my form was bounced back. Reason being that the person who signed, the grantor who signed my the check notes did not sign it appropriately, and so I was discouraged because the transportation to and fro every day is just disturbing. But some of my friends applied, and I could remember when they were giving us the orientation at the microfinance office, they said that they are coming for inspection, that they will come for inspections. And when they come for inspections where you run your business and they find out that you don't worth it, they are not going to give you the loan. Several of my friends applied, but they did not even come for the inspections. I asked my friends if they've come for the inspection, but they didn't come for the inspections. No call, nothing. And all we hear is that they started giving out the loan today. I don't just get the criteria anymore. Is it that all they said just ended on paper? They did not carry out the execution, the follow-up before giving out the money to people. Thank you, from Hector.
All right. Okay. Let's take. I hope Ibisu's message is clearer this time. Let's see.
Good afternoon, Kalada. About the loan, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And I think the state government bring 2 billion naira. Good afternoon, Kalada. I want to thank the state government for the loan. The state government bring out 2 billion, while Bank of Industry bring 2 billion. Okay. My concern is those that they are giving the loan should follow up the agreement by responding when they are supposed to respond. And I know the way they make it, some people, they have different categories. I think up to 450,000, 500,000 naira. From 1 million naira up, they have different category again. That one, that's the way they say they will do it. And my concern is, if these people that they give the loan respond well, you will see that the state government will even bring more money for this loan. So those that are beneficiaries now should follow up and do what they're supposed to do. Secondly, about Rivers United, to me, the football fraternity in Nigeria, they don't have vision. Look at Europe, for example. If you are playing Champions League or UEFA Cup, that game will not affect your domestic league, and they will give you time. They will make sure that you play on Saturday if you have match on Tuesday, so you rest. But here in Nigeria, our players are using road. Canada from Port Harcourt to Lagos is about 12 hours. You are expecting a player to go and play a match in travel for 12 hours. Do you know the emotional trauma psychologically? And that player will play that match the next 2 days again to go and play another match again. To me, it's not possible, and they should look into it and do everything well. So we, the citizens, we will have interest to watch the matches. But with this way, Canada, it's not encouraging.
All right.
Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much, Ibiso. This one says, I bet you it will be business as usual in giving out the loan. It will be politicized by politicians. They will give it to councillors and members of their brotherhood. That is it. Do not question me. You will see it. The governor might have a good intention, but the politicians will thwart his intention. Okay, this one just said hello. Okay, keep sending in your voice notes. I guess the voice notes are working today, so let's do voice notes on WhatsApp 0809 or 0809 030 6416. But I'm going to try this phone call and see if it works. It doesn't work. All right, keep those calls coming in. Let's go to Facebook and see what we've got there on Facebook. Really, the network is really terrible today. Someone is asking me, how can I apply? I think you should go to rima.ng. There is a form there. I don't know if they're still taking applications. You send in, or you fill the form and send it in, and let's see if that works for you. But Hector raised a very important issue. He said he went through the process. He fell along the way, but his friends were able to reach the finish line. However, they did not get the loans, and they were never visited to cross-check. And so it goes back to the question I asked earlier, and the question is, what is the criteria? What really? How do we know who is qualified? How do we know who should take the loan or not? I mean, this thing should be made public, I believe. I do understand that the application has been going on for a while. The announcements were done. I think on Andrew's show as well. I think I listened that day. I also know that the amount is supposed to be 4 billion. What I don't know is how it's going to be spread. Okay, and also I do not know for a certain. Biso mentioned 2 billion from government, 2 billion from the Bank of Industry, so I do not know how that works as well. But hey, the loan scheme has been started. It started today. Some beneficiaries already got a dummy check. We've seen how this will pan out. We've seen how this will play out. But so many questions, and my question to you is, what do you make of what is happening with the loan scheme? And also, there is the attitude of Nigerians not being able to pay back loans, not just even with loan institutions, but even within ourselves. So somebody borrows money from you or takes money from you, and the person finds it very difficult to pay back. But I've got to go. It's time for the business news. When I do come back, we'll talk some more. To stay tuned.